Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I know, I'm an hour earlier than I normally do it, but I had to because of work. Hope everyone is having a good week and Happy New Year to everybody. Hey, Brad, how are you? Um, Doing well. I hope you're doing as well. Actually, the people we're going to talk about not doing too well, but I thought it would be a really good point of conversation. Hey, Joe. Mr. Joe Morgan, that is one of the most hardworking guys I've spoken to on the interwebs. So I'm glad you were able to make it, my friend. Um, the We all had that weather that came in earlier this week, and apparently a lot of people didn't get it. They didn't listen to anybody about, hey, don't be on the road, plan your trips. Hey, Loretta, how are you? And what wound up happening was a lot of unfortunate people who didn't think ahead wound up really not having a good time. I'm going to share some stuff with you because this is just and the reason I'm harping on this is because we're going to go into what they're describing is going to be a really harsh winter, and this is going to be a thing, right? We all travel, we all vacation. I mean, we did our holiday travel already if you traveled, but for business or for whatever you're doing. And this thing hit right at the tail end of the New Year's week, which a lot of people take Christmas through New Year's as vacation with the family. So I bet you there were a boatload of people trying to come home from visiting whoever, and they wind up stuck. So I'm gonna share this screen because this is going to lead into conversations. Unless something changes, I will be on the panel again with Off the Wall tomorrow evening, and we're going to discuss grid down and things that can happen. Actually, I'm going to discuss as part of the panel exactly how the Texas grid came crashing down, what it was that caused it, how things collapsed, and in what order, because the more informed we are about how these things happen, the better prepared you can be uh, to try and mitigate your risk. I mean, that's all we can do. We can't fix the grid on our own, but we can take steps to prepare ourselves to not get caught flat-footed, which these folks did. And I'm going to share the screen if the screen will play nicely. Hey, copycat, what's going on? I'm going to. I don't think there's a video involved here. Ta-da! So, stranded on Virginia roads, it's not getting better. Now, for those of you who have not seen this, some of these folks have been caught on this stretch of highway for 15 hours, and that's not bueno. So, and by the way, to my to Loretta and Joe and all my regulars, my apologies again. I had work commitments, totally screwed up my day. I wound up going in the office early, and then I was about to go on a run. I actually went on a run, and I'm still in my hoodie. And they called me back, and I have to get on a call in like 2 hours. It's just a mess. So, but I can't complain. I'm still employed, and I'm still in one piece. So, hey, Shorty, what's going on? An armadillo got a substate in a sub. An armadillo got in a substation. That might be part of it. It wouldn't surprise me. And that's another thing to think about, folks. Wildlife will seek shelter and they will go places humans don't want them to go and break stuff. But by 1 p.m. Tuesday, morale was plummeting for Jennifer Travis, her husband, and their 12-year-old daughter. They were down to half a bottle of water, no snacks. Their last meal had been at Denny's at 7 p.m. Monday. They hadn't slept and were dressed for sunny Florida. Um, you guys, again, the name of my channel, The Roaming Prepper, I travel a boatload. I think my record in 1 year was 50,000 on miles on my own car, which the company reimbursed mileage, the whole company thing. Um, oh, ERCOT, ERCOT was a bunch of stuff, including companies that didn't winterize and did all sorts of other things, because they're like, it's not going to happen, and guess what? It happened. So yeah, that's a whole other mess. They were down to half a bottle of water and no snacks. Their last meal had been at Denny's at 7 p.m. Monday. So we're Tuesday now. So basically, and this was posted at 4. So you figure the reporter probably met them this morning. So think about it, 7 p.m. last night, this morning, they hadn't eaten. They're it's getting hard because it's not getting any better. Her voice cracking as she sat in traffic clog, US Route 17 near Fredericksburg. They keep saying help is coming, but it's not coming. Nothing's moving. Nobody's at the stoplight saying, okay, you go. Um, well, Copycat, I'm glad you're able to make it. That's really awesome. And I'm trying to show comments here. Hold on a second here. An armadillo. Arkansas, I should write down the zingers you guys give me for t-shirts. Like, an armadillo broke my state, or what was it I said? The What did I say 2 weeks ago? The person got an electrical correction because they did something wrong and got zapped and were unconscious. An electrical correction. I think it was something along those lines I said. Um, well, thank you, Copycat. I'm glad. And yeah, we'll be so what we'll be doing is today I'm going to talk about this travel issue, which kind of is a grid down, but not really. It's more they just got stuck. Tomorrow night, we're going to have the panel on the grid down, and then I'll be premiering a video about grid collapse on Thursday on this channel. So basically, the topic for several channels will be the grid issues, all ongoing one after the other. But these folks were stuck as of the time this reporter spoke to them uh, over what, 12, 14 hours in a car in freezing temperatures dressed for Florida. Um, Travis and her family were among hundreds of motorists who waited desperately for help, left some drivers stranded for nearly 24 hours in an impassable stretch of I-95 south of the nation's capital. The ones that escape I-95 got stuck on side roads. The family was on vacation in Florida, visiting Universal Studios in Orlando. Their flight home was canceled Sunday and then Monday, so they rented a Tahoe and tried to drive straight north into Virginia. And then they got stuck. Oh yeah, hey, what is going on in Cali? Because I heard there was some weather over there. Or am I thinking of the wrong place? So, well, what happened here, guys? This was pretty bad. You think about it. These folks, you heard my dog in the background. The UPS truck went by and he immediately got offended because apparently, according to my dogs, the UPS truck is Satan. Uh, I don't know his big issue with it. I think he's just a little butthead. Oh, I'm gonna have to catch up. I was super tied up today and hadn't been on any of the offline chats. That's uh, that's not bueno. Okay, so Cali, all the ugly is on the east side of the nation apparently. So I got another one for you guys. And I've made videos, a lot of us have, about traveling. Um, and again, I travel extensively on the road and planes. And one of the things you have to factor in is those abrupt weather changes. If you don't, it will utterly bite you in the butt, which is what happened to this family. I started seeing the reports late last night that people were getting stuck, but this is not unheard of because in the Texas freeze last year, an entire stretch of I 20 between, no, I'm sorry, I 10 between El Paso, or actually Fort Stockton to just west of San Antonio, and then on 20 between Midland, Odessa, and Dallas Fort Worth were extensive stretches of frozen road. Hundreds of people, if not thousands, all got stuck at the same time. This is not good stuff. And the first thing you need to do, guys, when you're going to make a trip, check that weather the morning of or the night before. And if you think you might run into rain, snow, cold, grab that extra stuff. Now, this family had an interesting situation because they had flown to Florida and then were trying to drive home, which is something I might have tried to do as well. Hey, Angie, how are you? Uh, what I would definitely have done, and again, it's a question of time, money, if you can find it, the whole nine yards, is if I knew there was a storm front coming and I might not beat it, go to Walmart and get some fuzzy blankets, those stupid, they call them couch blankets or whatever. They're like in a roll. They're like 5, $10, and get a handful of them and stick them in the car. Get that extra, 12 pack of water, get some snacks. The worst case, if you have teenagers, they will eat the snacks. I promise you they'll eat the snacks by the time you get home. But in this case, these folks had stopped. They were driving smooth. They didn't stop to check the change of weather while they were traveling, and they got into an ugly situation, and they had no plan. So they were stuck. Let me see if I can get this video working, because this is really something to see. Or maybe not. No, I got a commercial. Why do they always put the commercials? That's frustrating. Hold on a second here. So anyway, this is an overhead video. I think it was some drone footage taken by the reporters who could not even get to the vehicles to talk to the folks. So let's see. Here we go. Let's get the audio back, and let me share this with y'all. Bear with me just a second. There we go. So, oh, there is no audio. So this is what these folks got stuck in. So don't hesitate to, what's that guy doing? Don't hesitate to modularize your get home bag if you have one. See, this poor guy's walking his dog. At least they have a little path, right? Where that's probably where the emergency vehicles have been going, where he can get in and out. But think about, oh, hey, Hudson, what's going on? These folks are hosed right now. And part of the reason this clogged up was 6 semi trucks collided on the road to where it blocked up not only I think the northbound side, but then one of the trailers flipped over and hit the leftbound side. Actually, Hudson, I lived in your neck of the woods for 4.5, 5 years. I remember that lake effect snow coming out of Buffalo. Um, yeah, that's tough. But this was in Virginia, and they don't have the plow trucks. For instance, look, New York City is the largest city in the US, I believe, and then Houston's number 3. New York has 1,000 plow trucks. Houston has 8, but Houston is twice the geographical area of New York City. So Houston gets 4 inches of snow and ice, and they're screwed because they got the 8 stupid trucks going in circles on the main highways. I don't know, Hud. That's a good question. I think, let me see if I can find out. Well, anyway, those poor folks are in a bum. Let's see if they give footage here. Okay, here's another. Oh, yes, and if you're traveling with kids, that's so important because children children under 8 or 9 are really ingenious, and then for whatever reason, I guess it's hormones, between like 12 and 17, mentally they're intelligent, but they become stupid. I don't know what happens, and you're like, dude, put socks on. Okay, and then they go out and they have no socks. Or bring your hoodie, and then you're halfway to your destination. Where's your hoodie? Oh, I don't know. So yeah, if you have kids, but the little ones don't know how to fend for themselves, they'll listen to you, but they don't know what to do. So that's absolutely, Shorty, spot on. You gotta have that extra stuff. And just because you have a get home bag in your truck doesn't mean you couldn't add to it. You check that weather and it's like, I might beat the snowstorm by a few hours, but there's the potential you could get stuck. You never know what's going to happen, right? A lot of these folks got caught behind the accident and then they got snowed on and then they were screwed anyway. So, thank you, Copycat. I appreciate that. Yeah, and they don't have the experience in driving in snow and ice. So, let's see if these folks, if this thing will play nicely, and we'll see what this reporter has to say. By the way, let me know if you. Hey, Klingon, what's going on? Let's see if the lady went away. Hold on.
Right, Robin Reba,
There
it's
she
really
is.
devastating for some of these people who've been out there for more than 14 hours. Now, I've been calling and emailing VDOT this morning, trying to get an update on when potentially at least one lane
Let me know
could
if
be
you can't hear.
reopened. VDOT just tweeted about half an hour ago saying that about 50 miles of the interstate, northbound and southbound Interstate 95, still closed as crews work to remove downed trees and stranded vehicles.
Oh,
Another tweet saying
there we go.
about 20 to 30 trucks
Hmm. Obviously not playing very nicely. Give me a
remove
second here.
down trees and
There we go.
stranded vehicles. Another tweet saying about 20 to 30 trucks were stranded near the roadway in that area.
Hmm.
As well, so just obviously very difficult. Once you take a look now, you're looking at exit 104.
Look at that. Sorry, the video keeps
This is
cutting out.
the Carmel Church exit. This is where the kind of everything is starting. That blockage is starting, and you can see traffic still at a standstill there. Now, last night, VDOT did send a press release saying the reason the north and southbound lanes were shut down is because of multiple downed trees and disabled vehicles, as I just mentioned. And we're still receiving emails and phone calls to our newsroom. One man saying he's been stuck for over 14 hours. Some of these drivers sleeping in their cars with children, pets, about to run out of gas. One email from a viewer, Donald here, says, quote, "My wife and I have been stuck around 20 miles from..."
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. It's battling me, this silliness. But you guys get the gist of what happened there. So a lot of them are running out of gas, and apparently they're still stuck there. So this is not this is not, it just happened. Hey, Northern Girl, how are you? So yeah, this is high peaks of that, or yeah, that's absolutely true. And Northern Girl and Hudson Valley are well experienced in driving in snow, uh, because of where they reside. Um, but even so, I bet you most of those cars did not have snow tires and were not all-wheel drive, and they just got caught blind. They didn't double check to see what it was that had happened. Um, guys, and Shorty was absolutely right earlier. If you're going to travel, check the weather not just before you leave. If it's especially if it's a long trip, check it at your halfway point and just verify nothing has changed. Um, I guarantee you some of those folks might have made it home had it not been for the first tree or the first accident, and they got stuck behind that, and then they didn't have the amenities. Yeah, you can do that if you're in multiple vehicles. That's one thing. You got to be careful of the carbon monoxide. Any of the other cold weather folks can chime in. Um, and yeah, it's yeah, that would be great. And this is something that's super important. Um, I went to college up by near where Hudson resides, and I'll tell you what, that senior year we had 350 inches of snow between November and May. I think we actually got a foot in the middle of May out of nowhere. Um, yeah. Oh, but also, thank you, Northern Girl. And if there are any other content creators, please post them in there. Uh, See, and that's smart, and it doesn't hurt. I have a windbreaker and an extra pair of pants. My steel-toed boots are kind of insulated, but I have an extra pair of socks stuffed in those in my work box in my truck, not including my get-home bag and other stuff. Um, you never know what you're going to have to do to either get yourself out or get someone else out. Uh, Also, make sure you let people know where you are and give people status updates, right? So if you're leaving grandma and grandpa to go back home, they obviously know when you left. When you get to your first stop, text them and say, "Hey, I just went from, I don't know, from Dallas to Huntsville or whatever. I don't know. I'm just giving you an example. And we're good here. We're getting gas, getting a snack, and then we're going to continue." So if they don't hear from you, if they say, "Okay, your destination is such and such, you should be there in 2 hours," and they hear nothing in 2.5 hours, they'll at least know where your last reference point was and where you were last known to head. This is something in my industry we use a lot. Um, we have convoys that sometimes get broken up because one vehicle is down or it's not fueled. So, if part of the convoy goes ahead and the other part goes behind, they let the dispatcher know, "Hey, trucks 1 through 8 are going to this destination via this route, and 1 through 4 are going ahead, and the rest will be following in an hour." So that dispatcher will be expecting a call in from those units upon arrival at whatever their work station is at a certain time. If group 2 shows up and group 1 still isn't there, something went terribly wrong. So, these are the kind of things that you can use from the business and operational standpoints of what companies do, and do it for yourself. You may also, if you're going to travel, make sure emergency contacts, uh, even copies, photocopies, or scans of your insurance cards, stuff like that, that you would keep in a bug out situation, leave them at the house, or a copy where someone in the family can find them if you trust the family member. For instance, you leave a copy with your in laws or grandma and grandpa. If you wind up having to go to a hospital and you don't have everything with you, they might have a copy they can fax or email to whatever hospital you're at. So, yeah, try to plan out those trips, guys. I once, God Lord, I had to make a 17-hour straight trip because of an emergency from North Carolina to New Orleans. Now you guys draw that in your head. That's basically down the eastern seaboard, and I had 3 kids with me at the time. Um, that was a trip, and we got rained on. We got sleet at one point. It was just awful. Um, you will reap benefits by planning out those trips. Yeah. Now, another trick I've done, especially with kids, is I call it the kid tag. It's really, I get custom dog tags done on Amazon, but I put the kid's name and two emergency contact numbers, and I used to put them on my kids when they would go out. I started doing that after a group of the little idiots were all playing in the playground, and someone decided, they were about 10, 11 years old, right at that age. Uh, Possibly, yeah. They were right at that age where kids test gravity and start getting hurt really good for the first time. And I don't know what they were doing, but according to my youngest son, it involved riding a bike up a slide and trying to do Evil Knievel off the back end, which I don't know why that became a thing. And for lack of a better description, the stunt man ate shit. He failed, and the bike went off the. Anyway, there was an accident. The kid knocked himself out. He bonked his head, lights out. So the other kids are poking him. Nobody knew what to do, right? So the kids are all standing there. Their buddy's knocked out, and you can definitely complain about trucks in here. Totally legit. Um, but none of the kids, so they're 10, 11 years old. A few of them had those, generic cell phones for to call the parents. Nobody knew what to do, so the kids call their own parents, right? Which you think is the first thing young kids will do. Oh, I have a cell phone. I'll call mom. The problem was the parents, we didn't know that kid's number. So we're all getting a call that a kid knocked himself out in the playground and nobody knew where the kid lived or how to get a hold of his parents. So fortunately, one of the parents that was called happened to be a teacher at the elementary school. So she called the admin, who then ran to the school, was able to pull up the family file real quick. Uh, and but still, it took a while. An ambulance got involved, and then the cops showed up and freaked the kids out because they thought they were going to jail. It was comical and awful. But yes, kids do memorize stuff, and they do it better than we do. But sometimes they don't. So that dog tag, it would be, the little military style tag would be kid's name and two ICE numbers on the tag. So if they knock the crap out of themselves and weren't coherent, hopefully a first responder would see that tag and know that, okay, that's an emergency number. It's kind of a spin on the emergency bracelet folks who have like diabetes or epilepsy use. So what would use up? That's correct. Shorty's absolutely right. I don't know where it is. I think it's under health, but I may be wrong. Emergency contacts. Okay, so there's a setting called, I'm going to cover my business here, but uh, emergency SOS. So if you search emergency SOS, it will give you a list of phone numbers, and then you can edit emergency contacts in health. And there's auto call. I don't know what auto call requires a SIM card. So in this case, you can press and hold the side button and either volume button, and uh, it will allow you to dial an emergency call. Oh, yeah, no, I'm glad you mentioned that, Shorty. That was really, I think Android has an amenity for it. Chicken Prepper died. Someone else passed away recently. I forgot who it was. He didn't look good the last live he did. I just blanked out on the name. Oh, and another thing while we're talking about and that's a really good thing. Thank you, Northern Girl. Yes, it was Dangerous Freedom. I just started following him and I thought he didn't look really good that last video, and I was like, well, maybe he's just, kind of a laid back guy, or maybe he's just sick now. I have no idea that. Thank you, Shri. And also, if you get stranded or lost, another tip they recommend is before your phone dies, because Northern Girl has a very good point here. Where was it? Yeah, if your phone dies, you're hosed. Um, change your voicemail. If you're stranded or stuck, before the phone dies, if you still have connection, change your voicemail to say, "Hey, this is Pete. My car is just broken down at X location. It is this time on this date. I am going to attempt to go on foot to town W over here, which is 2 miles away. I should be there in the next 2 hours." And at least anyone who tries to contact you, "Hey, farmer's son, howdy, howdy." Yeah, and I only recently started to follow him, and I wasn't aware of his channel. Was that Dangerous Freedom or the other individual mentioned? Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. Yeah, and that's another one, is to text a bunch of folks. There are a lot of things you can do, and keep in mind these folks got stuck in their car, right? So they had, like they're saying, a lot of them are running out of gas after 12, 14 hours. Well, in the first hour, when you see that, like Hudson says, that's a great time to go, okay, text 15, 20 people, or family or friends, and say, "Hey guys, um, there's been a wreck. We're stuck. It's now snowing. We are at this location. I'll check in an hour if I still have power and connection." Because they could still keep their phones charged. They could leave it plugged in the car. Um, or MREs, just don't let them get frozen, because then it sucks. Uh, check it out, Brad. I do need a fold out solar solar panel, a gas blanket. Oh, I'm curious. What's a gas blanket? I'd be afraid of that. But yeah, these are things that you guys can that you can do upon getting stuck somewhere. Uh, Again, you can also share your location on these doodads with your family members. Okay, sorry, I lost the chat here. What's up, my friend? So, yeah, these folks did not have a really good experience with this. Let me see if I can find. There was one more video. Oh, here it is. Let me see if this one will come up. And again, folks, I know I'm early here. Here we go. Let's see if Let me see. Will it play? No, it will. Told me to go to Shaboba. Hold on a second here. Ah. Let's see. So yeah, Northern Girl, if you and Hudson do wind up doing a winter driving, let me know and I'll share it as a post on my channel and tag y'all's channel, whoever's going to host it, so you guys can. And keep in mind, this kind of situation with the stranding can also happen in a grid down, right? If the trees take out power lines, the traffic signals go down, and you could wind up stuck very quickly. So let me see if I can get this video. It's kind of running a little slow here. It may not. Nope. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to stop sharing it, and then it's going to pop up and scare the crap out of me. But in any case, gang, let's see if we can get this thing playing again. Well, apparently not. So that's the end of that. It's these are things that you can do, and keep in mind these same lessons: having the right gear, leaving messages, having your emergency kit, having the right clothes. These go not just for a freeze out like this, but also hurricane, which unfortunately I've had a lot of experience with those damn things. The blizzards I used to deal with in the Northeast when I lived up there, but also the grid down. When the grid goes down, keep in mind, traffic signals are going to stop, and it's only a matter of time before it goes up on the highway because people can't exit. And you're going to wind up in the same situation where you're stuck. It actually happened in Hurricane Rita when Houston tried to evacuate, but they didn't evacuate in stages like they did, 8, 9 years later for Harvey. They just said, you may want to evacuate, and the whole city freaked out at once. And so 4 million people tried to leave the city at one time, and that was almost rush hour from hell in the wrong direction as people fled. So, supposed to have snow soon. And that is, and yeah, if you have a vehicle and the means to help other folks, that's great. As you know, individually, you'd be struggling to, holy cow. Okay, this poor guy, hold on a second here. I'm going to share this with y'all. So this poor guy, I don't know where he's got this expensive gasoline, but I guess I'm in Texas, so we're a little closer to those refineries than y'all. Hey, Bug Dude. So yeah, these are pictures of these folks stranded, and they're not where they can get down, and there's doesn't seem to be a town or anything nearby, so they're just kind of hosed. I don't think that's not the right incident. That's a different accident. But hey, no, we're prepping chicken feet. Yeah, we had a chicken feet joke going in the other chat, so I caught part of that. So hey, thank you, Hudson, and yeah, definitely let me know if you guys are going to do that, and I'll be happy to share it on my community so folks can go your way. What's up, SHTF Engineering? How's it going? So again, folks, the lessons these unfortunate folks have learned with getting caught in this blizzard out in Virginia and out in those areas, getting stuck in the traffic. If the grid goes down, you're going to get stuck in traffic. If you get a hurricane, you're going to get stuck in traffic. A lot of these scenarios will end or result in the same outcome with you stuck on the road. So again, you can't predict. You can kind of see a winter storm coming. You can see a hurricane typically. You can't see a tornado. Kentucky found that out the hard way. I mean, those came out of nowhere and just destroyed the area. Um, hey, in between, what's going on? Lucky posted a square. I don't know if that was supposed to be an icon or. Oh, there it is. So, yeah, if you're caught on these roads, regardless of the emergency, some of them you can't predict. So again, you can't predict a earthquake, the tornadoes, or the grid going down for some other reason. The grid goes down and you're in an urban environment, all the traffic lights die all at once. And oh, and oh, eh, I got it's a Russian bot. That's cool. Howdy, Donna. Somebody want to kill the Russian bot? I don't know. Let me see if I can do it from here. Hold on. I'm gonna kill him. Nope, that's the wrong person. Oh, dang, got it. Now it moved. Hold on. All right, and he should be gone. Yeah, if he comes back, I'll kill it again. I'm not sure. The thing was moving. I'm not sure if I killed it right. Uh, by the way, folks, if you can put any other content creators. Hey, Arlith, how are you? What's up? Lucky's getting efficient. If you guys mods, if you want to post any of the other content creators, Lucky put yours and put Nikki. And I think we got, who did we not get? I think we got Hudson. And there goes the FedEx truck, and my dog's barking again. And Klingon, I don't know. Anybody, any other doggone it. Okay, I'll go kill it again if it shows up. Yeah, the interface on StreamYard, it doesn't have the same commands as doing it directly in YouTube. And the chat was moving, and I was trying to like get the moving target, and so yeah, I didn't realize I put it in timeout. Well, yeah, I guess it'll come back and annoy us later. But again, you had a lot of good tips come from the chat today, guys, and girls. Who? What's up, buddy? And again, a lot of these lessons, hurricanes, floods, they all have a common denominator in that one, check what you can, right? When you plan that trip, plan your route, check the weather, and try to time it out and say, okay, it's a 10-hour trip. What's the weather going to be like? Not just right now where I am, but what's it going to be like at my destination, my halfway point, 2, 3, 5, 10 hours from now? Uh, to kind of quantify what weather you're going to be getting hit with on the road, right? What you don't want to do is, again, like these folks, get halfway there and get caught in a blizzard. Now, you could do that, check your roads, and of course, construction. If you got kids, Shorty had some great recommendations. So did Hudson and Northern NGH. Send a mass text to people, change your voicemail, update all your information on your phone in case a responder has to help you. Make sure you have those snacks. And if you're going to drive unexpectedly, like that family did, hey, Caribbean House. Yeah. And, Joe brings up a good point. If it's going to be a really long trip, like these folks in that first video was what, 10-hour drive or 12-hour drive. If you can swing $100, have that cash in your pocket, in the event you have to get a hotel room or you have to fill up with gas, I mean, if you got to camp out at a gas station, so be it. But having that cash, because in a blizzard like that, or a hurricane, or a grid down, the power will go out, and then the ATM cards are caca anyway, right? They're toast. So you're going to wind up, um, you're just going to wind up hosed regardless of what you do. So again, try to envision those scenarios, but again, there's a lot of common denominators: change of clothes, water, food, and even if it's just for 48 hours, these folks are probably going to be home in the next 12 to 24 hours, but they've already spent 15 to 20 hours stuck in their cars in the middle of nowhere. On that note, toilet paper and baby wipes. Yes, I went there because it has happened in my family where we're in the middle of nowhere, and that's when someone decides, Dad, pull over. I'm going to ship the car. And yes, it has happened. And I'm sure some of y'all have had that. And you're like, oh my God, really? God? So at least you have the roll of toilet paper. Say, go get the toilet paper and go to the bushes. Because they wouldn't do it in the town you just left. Let's wait till Dad's in the middle of the cornfields, and then I have to go potty. So, but yeah, these folks stuck 15 hours. Someone had to go pee. Someone had to go potty. So again, that toilet paper, keep it in there. Hey, Arkansas, I lost a few people here. Caribbean house. Yes, have ones and fives, not just 20s. Yeah, Donna's writing down. She's got her homework going here. Or baby wipes. Baby wipes works. Otherwise, you're going to wind up using leaves and snow, and that's not cool. Nobody likes, snow butt. And there's another T-shirt, snow butt. Good Lord. Man, stuff. I sometimes channel my old man. He just stuff comes out of me. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Northern Girl knives, some basic tools, Leatherman. That should go without saying. It should be in your bag. But again, your get home bag should be your 80-85% stuff. You're gonna have to adapt on the trip. Snowbutt. Yeah, that is snowbutt. Um, yeah, and you gotta. Yes, and if you are legal uh, to carry or bring a pew or a tire thumper or any other device with which to remove assholes, bring it. If not, baseball bat works really well, or crowbar. I mean, if it comes to that. Uh, yeah, well, at that point, you can just kind of pull over and kind of camp out on the side of the road. You'll make a bunch of friends too. Uh, yeah, absolutely, Shorty, absolutely. And actually, I can't emphasize enough, if you have kids or pets. I've seen people go on road trips with their dogs, and they don't bring dog food in the vehicle. Like, they're like, "Oh, I'll buy some when I get where I'm going," and then you're stuck, and now you have to feed the pets too. Um, have those pet foods with you as well. Um, Also, the fold out. I got to do a video on how I travel with three stupid dogs, but the fold out bowls that hikers use for the pets, having that so that you don't have kibble all over your car. Um, yeah, yeah, and in South Louisiana, you start getting hit with the hurricanes, the floods, that weird Gulf of Mexico weather, the microbursts that come off the Gulf Coast, and they hit the cold air coming from the eastern part of Texas right over Louisiana, and boom. You could do that. Okay, for those of you who want to amuse yourselves, go look up Hate Stick Company. Exactly as it's spelled, Hate Stick. It's basically a company that builds modern day mace, like not the spray, the whacker from the ancient times, and they're actually really freaking cool. if you have like $100 to kill on a whacker to hit people, or you can buy a $20 baseball bat. But yeah, no, medieval claw hammer, or a baby sledge that will knock the crap out of someone. Uh, yeah, and if you're in an environment where you have a lot of break-ins, then you have to be modular. If you can't hide it, you got to take it, and it has to be portable. So Klingon's spot on with that. Um, yeah, we have a dog bag, the dog kit. Actually, I have a dog wall. Um, locking us. Yeah, that that will, or rock. Rocks work really well. Beer bottles, but you shouldn't have empty beer bottles in your car when you're driving anyway. That's a whole nother citation you can get yourself. So, so yeah, a lot of these things are in common. But again, if the grid goes down, blizzard, hurricane, major accident, there's a variety of things that can get you stuck on a highway unexpectedly with nowhere to go. Um, yeah, that's a good one. Empty Mexican Coke bottles. Oh, and that's absolutely a wise thing to do. Now, Shorty, just out of curiosity, is it just like a regular igloo cooler with ice, or do you have one of those little plug-in hoo-has that you plug into your car that keeps cool? I'm just curious if anyone's been using those. I think the truckers like to use them. Um, no, you can't. I mean, I'm going backwards here. There it is. That's what was fun. Yeah, no, that won't work the same way. Although if you ran out with your dingus in a sock, I guess they may flee because they think you're psychotic. Um, what's the Red Hot Chili Peppers guy who's really nuts? Flea. His name was Flea, wasn't it? Like Flea. Um, yeah, that's bad. This happens in the chat. Sometimes it just goes down the toilet really quick. Okay, it's just a small igloo cooler. Shorty, check your local grocery stores. I don't know what you have on the West Coast. It was Flea. Okay. Um, a The grocery stores by the sushi, a lot of the grocery stores have the little sushi kiosk where you can get sushi. Ask them if they have the gel packs from the fish that they got. The HEB out here in my part of Texas will actually give them to you for free. You just say, "Hey, do you have any of the freezer packs so I can preserve my food?" And they're like, "Oh yeah," and they go to the back and they give them to you, and you get free stuff. Red October, what's up, Texan? Um, the and that what you do, you stick them. It was the basis. That's right. It was. Uh, yeah. Um, now I'm stuck with somebody running naked with a sock on his 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 dingus, freaking people out to make them go away. I mean, faking psychosis could definitely get you left alone without a doubt. Good Lord. Um, yeah, did you check at the RV stores? Well, Red's got the knives thing down to a T. I was watching his video. If you haven't checked out Red's channel, please do so. Um, he he was having fun. It was a nice day from what it looks like. So, Stuart, okay, yeah, definitely don't have an accident. You can lurk all you want. Don't chat and drive and get get crashed or anything. But yeah, you can fake psychosis. That'll work. But keep in mind, guys, whether it's a grid down, EMP, riot. I mean, even 2020 during all the riots, right? How many people were stuck on highways? They were stuck And granted, your threat is different, right? Because snow's going to just fall, right? Snow doesn't try to break your window in. It's just a thing, right? It falls and it's inanimate. People are not. But if you get caught in a riot, caught in a flood, caught in a storm, blizzard, or bad wreck in the middle of nowhere, uh, there you go. You know what, Lucky? Flying J has some uh, really good prices on some of the truck stuff, including like the modular coffee makers and fridges the 12-volt stuff. But that's a really good idea. Is to if you're driving around, check out some of the travel plazas and see what they have. Lucky's spot on with that. Um, well, yeah, and that goes back to the riot. Although I wonder if someone had come out with the sock on his. Hey, D9. Um, Come out with a sock on his jingles and started running around during the Antifa riots, how those folks would have reacted. They might have thought you were part of the riot and just left you alone. It's like, yeah, there goes the naked dude with the sock. Um, yeah, I can't. So, yeah, folks, it's is that stage 5 zone? Oh, is it that bad now? I haven't been there. I went there, but I visited some family in Leander. I stayed out of the main part of the city. So, no, no, but there are a lot of Texans in the stream right now. Yeah, so they finally broke up the homeless camps. Red can confirm. But now I think they went into the parks. So they chased them out of the underpasses and wherever the hell they were that they weren't supposed to be. But instead of putting them in a shelter, they've run them into the parks. So now people are like riding their bikes and crashing into these folks. I don't know. Yes, and honestly, I got caught in just a tornado storm broke out. This was a couple of years ago, driving from Houston to Dallas, and the weather got bad where we were to where I just went into a flying J, and it turns out a tornado had hit across the highway about 10 minutes north after I had pulled over. So I very conceivably could have been driving and gotten sideswiped by a tornado. So heroic, what's going on? I'll tell you what, Arkansas's got some pretty country up there, and I actually have a friend who bought property up there. I'm waiting for some pics because uh, that might be that could be a potential retirement spot, and down the road. Um, there's my buddy from the East Coast. We were talking about all the folks that got stranded in Virginia. That was pretty bad. So folks, all these breakdowns, all these stranded situations, all have a common set of preps that you can use in your car, but don't hesitate. Check that weather and road conditions before you go. And if you stay overnight at the hotel, don't assume what you read the day before is still going to be a valid forecast for the next day. Um, make a point of going out there and checking before you hit the road again. Don't forget to walk around your car and make sure you didn't get a flat tire, broken window, whatever, or you're leaking fluid all over the floor. A lot of this stuff, folks, it's common denominator stuff. Try to execute that same thing, but again, you've got a lot of great tips in this chat. Shorty and Lucky and everybody, actually, there were a bunch of great thoughts. Oh, that's awesome. Isn't that what LA did to like Anaheim? They just kept shipping the crackheads and whatnot somewhere else until the other county filed suit. I don't know where I read that. God, it was a while ago. But folks, yeah, there's some basic stuff you can do for traveling. I've got a lot of traveling videos. I know a lot of the content creators have as well. Yeah, I actually, true story, heroic. I actually have. Um, hey, thanks, NGH. Jen, you be safe and take care. I'll touch base with you later on. Um, yeah, and yeah, if I'm going more than an hour from or 2 hours from the house, I will bring extra clothes. I do bring extra socks and footwear and jackets, but I actually have a safe built into my truck. Um, and I got it because one of my buddies went hunting, and his nincompoop, he had all his hunting gear in his back seat in a hotel. So they broke the window, took his gear, and then they took his rifle. He had a beautiful woods walnut stock 30-06 with a nice Simmons scope, all gone. And I said that sucked because I toted my stuff into the hotel room, and he yeah, he was like, man, he thought I was being paranoid, and they broke his window and not mine. So I was like, sucks to suck, amigo. I mean, I told you not to leave it there, but yeah, if have those basic preps there and check the weather. And again, if you think you're going to get caught, even if there's an outside chance you might get caught in the storm, but maybe not, go to Walmart, go to some roadside place and get the stupid hoodie that says, I love bacon or whatever the hell. Get some sweatpants, get an extra layer of clothes for 20 bucks, 30 bucks. Have them in the back, even though they're going to be with their tags still on, because if you get stuck like that family did for 15 hours and they were in beach clothes from Florida and they were in Virginia stuck, that's how people die. That's how they have medical issues, is they get caught in these weather extremes. Weather can be one of your biggest threats in any emergency, hands down, because the weather will kill all sorts of people in one big swath. So, yeah, that's true. And also you can use them for signaling. You flip them inside out. Um, yeah, and they, yeah, and it's not the only one. Actually, some of the officers I know say that's a running problem in Texas. People leave their guns. They're like, "Oh, I'll hide it under my seat." That's the first place they look. Don't leave it in there, unless again you have a lockbox or a safe. The little safes that the cops use to lock their gear, you can buy on the open market for your own vehicle if you think you need it. This is assuming you don't have a straight up trunk. You have an SUV or a pickup where it's all glass and you don't have a metal door. But yeah, guys, make sure. So homework for y'all. Make sure you're gonna go and take a look at what you got in your car. You can't fix it tonight, right? Don't spend a bunch of money, but look at what you got. And based on all those great tips you got from everybody in that chat, see if you're missing anything and then add it. And it could be as simple as a drawstring backpack and you just put some stuff in there. At least get a basic kit started and you can keep going from there. Thanks, D9. Um, but yeah, get those basics down and then start adding to it. You don't have to break the bank today, guys. Um, you guys know me. I'm all about pragmatism. Don't break the bank, stay on budget, but make a list of things you need. And hell, you might have an extra blanket in the house that you're not using. It's just sitting in the linen closet or something. Repurpose it, stick it in your car. What's the worst that'll happen? If you need it in the house, go to your car, pull it out, and stick it in the house again. Look at go shopping, as Sassy likes to tell me. She likes to go shopping in the house before she goes to the store, which is perfect. So do that. Yeah, you can't. You can pick up two, or you get a tarp. I mean, a tarp won't keep you as warm, but it'll keep you dry. So, yeah, improvise, guys. Those cheap blankets, you could get them at Walmart. The little fuzzy blankets that are in a roll that are meant for like a kid's bean bag. You get 2 or 3 of those for $3 a piece, $5 a piece. Just leave a couple in your car. Um, I think so. The $5 throw. That's a Target commercial, isn't it? I swear it is. But yeah, get the throw blanket, maybe even a pillow. I've slept in my shop vehicles plenty of night because of our work assignment. So, guys, same basics apply to everything. So, well, gang, as I mentioned at the beginning, I know I'd started my video early and kind of it was an hour earlier than I normally do on a Tuesday. But like I said, work, we came back and like everyone showed up and it was chaos. So I actually have a conference call in an hour and a half. So, eh, guys, God bless all of y'all. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. And definitely look at getting your cars, your vehicles updated. And remember, off the wall. Oh, yeah. Holiday stuff. Who cares if it's the damn Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or elf uh, blanket? If it's warm, and glow sticks. And I got a whole story about people not understanding the benefits of glow sticks. Thanks for reminding. I'll save that for another live chat. But yeah, you can get those at. Oh yeah, there you go, Dollar Tree. So, gang, y'all be safe. Homework for tonight. Definitely go double check your vehicles. See what would you have done, and what would you have been missing had you been caught in the blizzard out in Virginia. And don't forget, off the wall, we're going to have a panel tomorrow night at 7, grid down scenarios. And then Thursday, I'm premiering my video, which will actually be part of Off the Walls. Um, off the Walls of that panel on Thursday. And that'll go into the details of how the Texas grid collapsed. So, gang, you be safe. Again, if you walk away with anything, double check your vehicles. Make sure you have the amenities you need. Absolutely, Donna. Yeah, we do like our Sialoons, don't we? Um, you guys stay safe and remember, if you forget anything, just play this back, look through the chat. There were a lot of great tips in here. Lucky had some really good ones on pets, and Shorty had a bunch for kids. So go check them out. You guys be safe. I'm going to get started on dinner so then I can do my conference call with something in my stomach. God bless. And don't forget to check these channels out. There are a bunch of channel creators in here. And yeah, and we lost a couple of preppers in the last week or so on the channel. So, go and leave your well wishes for their families if you can. You guys take care, and I will see y'all. I guess tomorrow night on that live. So, take care, gang. We'll see you later.